and welcome, mourners. You are listening to Dirge of Mourning's Coffin Carrier. I am your host, Andrew A. Graves, alongside Terabella Thorne. In this episode, we will be looking at a Colombian band called Season of Grief, with their song, Dead Moths Garden, from the album The Departed, that came out in 2022. Fuck me.
I knew you would say that. I knew you were going to say that.
Oh, fucking hell. That. How do I put that into words?
That was fantastic.
Oh, it was fucking awesome.
That's amazing. Fantabulous. Lovely.
Oh,
Beautiful.
fantabulous. Oh, I like that word.
Fantabulous. Well, it was an almost perfect funeral doom song to me. But before we get too far, I want to give a little shout out to one of our subscribers and a dear friend of mine, Abby, who gave me some lovely vegetarian chips that were just fantastic. So I want to say, hey, Abby, thank you. How nice of you. They were great.
Well, there you go. Our first shout out, ladies and gentlemen. If you would like to be featured in a shout out, send us goodies.
Exactly.
Easiest way to get on the show. Feed us.
Yeah.
But yeah, the song was just absolutely fucking phenomenal from start to finish.
I think maybe I heard it once before, quite a while ago, but I was not really familiar with it. But I did really enjoy it.
Oh, from start to finish, the song was just absolutely beautifully done. The
Well, tell me
instrumental
why.
part.
Why do you feel that? Like, let's let our
So
audience
the
know.
instrumental part, the main sort of like bulk of the song, to me had that perfect weight of funeral doom. It was very heavy, very
Yes.
grounded.
Definitely.
There was this atmosphere in the background, but it wasn't overpowering. It was lightly there
Right.
until we get to the sort of breakdown part with the big like chunk parts. That's when we start hearing more of the piano kick in and a more softer approach to the guitar being added in, to the final sort of climax to the song where it gets a little bit more heavier in its sound, to it finally just sort of finishes off beautifully with a nice sort of rendition of the sort of middle piece of the music, with just an overall feeling of what the lyrics describe.
Oh yeah.
And
The lyrics are fantastic.
oh, absolutely. And I've got two particular paragraphs that stand out perfectly, at least for me.
Well, let's see if they match up with mine.
Okay. So, the chorus, obviously, which I will read. The chorus goes like this. You are cursed by the flowers of mine, doomed to walk in the garden of swallowed light, in a burial of death's moths, dead moths garden. It's your coffin.
That is fantastic.
It absolutely is. And
I mean, beautiful.
The second verse, now I'm just going to start it, and if it's the same one as you're thinking of, you could finish it.
Okay.
I am a vessel with a heart.
That wasn't mine, so you have to read it.
Oh, okay. So what was yours then?
Okay. Cold begins to pierce your wings. All you left behind is too far by your withered remains. You shall remain, you shall become the light of a dying star, this dispossession devoured by your self-thoughts. That's mine.
Ooh. Okay.
Okay, so yeah, I'm like really, So, okay, then yours, the I'm a Vessel with a Heart? Yeah,
Yes.
that one's good too. Go ahead.
I'm probably going to butcher the last parts here of it, but bear with me.
Go ahead.
I am a vessel with a heart of smoke and black bile, of rust and wine, parasomnia.
Wonderful word, yeah.
Oh, absolutely. Buried with your...
Oh, yeah, this was great. I did like this one too, because that word parasomnia and then buried with your futile rumination. I love it. So, futile rumination or thoughts that you're ruminating in your brain that are absolutely pointless. So, they're futile. Parasomnia. So, parasomnia is a group of sleep disorders characterized by regular occurrence of abnormal movements, vocalizations, experiences, sleepwalking, talking in sleep, night terrors. I know all about that. I had that when I was a little girl. Parasomnia. So,
well, as you're saying there, it links. So as you were saying there, it links into sort of like all these different like sleep concepts, which refers back to the very first verse here. Don't sleep.
Yeah.
Time's not too long.
Yeah, exactly.
Please don't sleep. The candle brings cold.
Right, being cold. Yeah. So
the idea here is, I think, sleep paralysis.
Well, I think it's maybe even a little deeper than that. I think it's probably that sort of feeling, but someone that is probably on bed. So what we're dealing with is, a horrible sort of a comparison to that being made. I don't think it's just sleep paralysis. I think it's deeper than that.
Well, what I mean by a sleep paralysis is we're looking at death as the concept of sleep, where we say, that someone went to sleep.
Yeah, the final
rest.
Right.
That's what I'm sort of phrasing it as here, because the paralysis part is where the body just sort of like becomes like rigor mortis. It's almost paralyzed in that sense.
Right. I mean, it all goes hand in hand, and it's one thing I did want to go back a little bit before we get too much into the lyrics was I had maybe only heard this song once a few months ago, and I kind of forgot it. So when I heard it again, I'm like thinking the very beginning is extremely low, like you said, very low, like bass, and very ominous. It felt ominous to me, not in a way of like, some horror slasher film, but ominous in the way of sort of a somber, ominous.
Yes. That's what I was meaning about, like the atmosphere leads into that as well, because vocally he starts off very quiet, and almost as if he is sleep deprived himself.
Very whispery. I like that quality.
And then he starts talking.
Yeah.
And then he brings in the vocalization of the words, and then we get the death growl for your favorite verse.
Yeah.
Kicking in the song to its full funeral doom conclusion.
Yeah.
With this particular structure of the lyrics and how it fits into that musical space, is just a masterclass of how to grab the attention of the listener. Because
this was an extremely concise setup of a song from beginning to end. They knew what they were doing. You have your lyrics paired with your perfect vocals, whether they be the whispery or the death growl, and you have the structure of the music, the intro, then the lyrics, and in somewhere near the middle to end, you do get that piano in there, which was a surprise to me. And I was like, oh wow, there's some keyboard going on. I like this.
Yeah, so during that sort of part there, we also had the breakdown. Like I said, that whole big sort of like chuggy chug sound going on.
Yeah.
Then the drums kicking in, having almost like a climaxing type of sound before the guitar just kicks in with this beautiful sound to bring it back down to that somber tone again, to remind you that yes, it may be heavy metal, but it's also funeral doom. So we have to bring it back down to its roots and sort of go, hey, let's go back to what we're all here for, which is, you know, the melancholy overtones that we all seem to enjoy in this music.
Another thing I would like to mention is the cover of the album, absolutely gorgeous. So it's a photo of some tomb thing, angel or figure. I really like it though, and I cannot wait to hear more songs. I think this band's great. I'm just gonna say right now, I think this band really has it together. I really enjoyed the song. I was thinking I wasn't even gonna enjoy it that much, and then I really did. And then another thing I want to say is that whenever you talk about like moths to me do not represent what, let's say, like butterflies represent. Butterflies are like these flitting, beautiful creatures. Moths, on the other hand, represent something a little bit darker to me. Now, I don't know if everybody feels that way, and I'm probably going to get comments from
I'll
people who study this stuff, but
I'll do the counterculture for that then, right? There are different moth species that are almost identical to butterflies in their color schemes and stuff like that. I can't remember the name of the exact moth, but if I was to show you that picture, you'd think it was a butterfly.
Yeah.
But for the most part, yes. The common perception of moths are they are linked with more of darkness, death, the macabre, that kind of thing, whereas butterflies are linked with life, beauty, happiness, rainbows, bunny rabbits.
Moths come out at night. I mean, you know,
well, not all moths, but yeah, for the most part.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not real familiar with the moth culture, but I think that for the most part, moths, you know, dead moths garden, it's your coffin. I mean, it's just so very picturesque in a way.
Oh, absolutely. The lyrics paint a phenomenal picture.
Yes, they do.
This is why I think Funeral Doom has the best writers for lyrics in all of heavy metal.
I would definitely agree with that. I mean, and another thing, I encourage our listeners or listeners of Funeral Doom and metal doom in general to read the lyrics while you're listening.
Absolutely.
It makes the song come alive. You get so much more from it than if you just listen. I do like just listening when I'm like driving or just doing something else, but to get that depth of meaning and what you really need to get from the total, the whole meaning of what the band meant for the song, you do need to read the lyrics.
Oh, and absolutely.
I commend these lyrics. They're really cool.
This is, I think, what separates Funeral Doom from every other genre, every other style of doom, because of what and how it talks about death, mourning, grief, funerals, cemeteries, and things like that. They are almost so close to just pure poetry. And in fact, there's even times where it is just pure poetry.
Yeah. I mean, you could just read these without hearing music and get a depth of emotion from the lyrics. So
absolutely,
yeah, they are stand on their own lyrics, but they're also when it's combined with the music, it's over the top, and it just always blows me away. So
I guess then there's only one last part to do then. Scoring. It's definitely a 9.9 out of 10.
I think you're very, very good, because that is, I'm just going to agree with that. Put that up there. Fantastic. I'm thrilled by this song. Can't wait to hear more from them. I mean, as far as like, I can't wait to hear the rest of the album.
Which we will eventually get round to.
Oh, I'm sure we will. Okay, dear, that was fantastic. And I hope our listeners enjoyed that.
Oh, absolutely. And don't forget, guys, if you've got any recommendations for us, please leave them in the comments section. If you want to interact with us, we do have a Facebook page. I will put the links to all of the stuff in the description below. But that's going to do it from us here at Coffin Carrier. Until next time, mourners, remember, every day is a funeral.